Welcome to everyone. Today we are going to discuss about an observation of partial differential equation. Till now, in our previous PDE classes, what we have learned? At first, we construct a PDE from a relation by either elimination of arbitrary constants or elimination of arbitrary functions. So, suppose our given relation is like that: phi of x, y, z, a, b equal to 0, where these a and b are arbitrary functions, arbitrary constants. So, in this case, we construct a PDE f of x, y, z, p, q. So, in this case, we construct this PDE by elimination of arbitrary constant AB. And in the other hand, if the given relation is like that, phi of uv equal to 0, where uv are independent functions and phi is an arbitrary function, then in this case we construct this PDE by elimination of arbitrary functions. Okay, so this is our given relation, and by using this two process where we needed, we can generate or we can construct this PDE. So our construction is this PDE f of x, y, z, p, q. Now we are trying to solve this PDE. So there are two branches at first. Till now we have learned. So if this given PDE is, this is our PDE. Now if this given PDE is linear first order, then we use Lagrange's method to solve such PDE. And if this PDE is non-linear first order, then we use Chapit's method to solve PDE. So now in the Lagrange's method, so at first we have to write the Lagrange's auxiliary equations, and then by solving this auxiliary equation we get two independent solutions. Suppose the two solutions are u of, say, u of x, y, z, comma c1, and another one is v of x, y, z equal to c2. U of xyz equal to c1 and v of xyz equal to c2. These two are independent solutions, and these are obtained by solving the Lagrange's auxiliary equations. So when we solve PDE using Lagrange's method, then at the last line we write the general solution of the given PDE is phi of uv equal to 0, where phi is an arbitrary function. Okay. So now in case of Charpit's method, we get the complete integral or complete solution. So in the last line of the solution, in case of Charpit's method, we write the complete integral of the given PD is phi of x, y, z, a, b equal to 0, where a, b are arbitrary constants. Okay, so now I want to say that when we start from this relation to construct this PD, so we start this relation which contains either arbitrary constants or this relation which contains arbitrary functions. And when we solve this PD, then we again reach at the same place or at the place which contains arbitrary functions or which contains arbitrary constants. So my question is, at the first relation and the second relation and the last relation and the middle one is construction of PD. So at the first relation from which the PD constructed and at the last relation which is the actually solution of this PD, this first one and last one are the same, or is there any relation in between this first relation and the last relation? So just check, at first check it, then conclude what happens. So for example, suppose this is our problem. So construct a PD from the relation z equal to e to the power ax plus by f of ax plus by. So construct a PD from the relation this. So we have to use the elimination of arbitrary functions, this process. So let's start. So we have numbering it as 1, then let u equal to ax plus by, then we get z equal to e to the power u f of u, then by chain rule what happens, del z del x equal to del z del u into del u del x. Now del z del u is differentiating this whole part with respect to u partially, that is e to the power u f u plus e to the power u f dash u, and del u del x means a, this is u, so a. Next del z del y is del z del u del y, then and del u del y is b. Now eliminating this f dash u part or this two this part, as this part is same in the two equations, so eliminating f dash u from these two equations we get 1 by A del Z del X equal to 1 by B del Z del Y. That is, we can write P, this is P by A equal to, this is Q by B, or BP equal to AQ. Now this is our required PD. This is our required PD. So from this relation we obtain this PD. Now we are going to solve this PD. So solution of the PD. See, as this PD is of first order and first degree, that is, this is a first order linear PD, and for this we should use Lagrange's method. So Lagrange's auxiliary equation is are dx by b equal to dy by, okay, we should write this equation in this form. At first we have to write it. Okay, I am writing it. We have BP minus AQ equal to 0 in this form, because the form is PP plus QQ equal to R. So we have to write this AQ in the left side in this way. So here the capital Q is minus A, then dz by 0, that is capital R. Now from these first two ratios we can get dx by b equal to dy by minus A, or minus A dx equal to b dy. Now integrating we get minus ax equal to by plus c1, or we can write this minus c1, where c1 is an arbitrary constant. Okay, where c1 is an arbitrary constant, or we can write it as ax plus by equal to c1. Okay, this is our first solution of this Lagrange's auxiliary equation. Next, second. For the second solution we can write it in this way. From the third ratio we can write dz equal to 0. Now integrating we get z equal to c2, but c2 is an arbitrary constant. So now we get these two functions, two independent functions, u of xyz equal to c1, where u of xyz is x plus by, and v of xyz equal to c2, where v of xyz is z. So these u and v, these two are independent solutions obtained from this Lagrange's auxiliary equation. Now our last line is the general solution of the given PD, that is 1, is phi of this u comma v equal to 0, that is ax plus by comma v is z. So z equal to 0, where phi is an arbitrary function. So we reach at our final destination. This is our solution. Okay, now see the whole thing. We start from this relation. By elimination of arbitrary function we can construct this PD, and again solve this PD. We get this relation which contains arbitrary function, and here written that the general solution of 1 is of the form phi of x plus by comma z equal to 0. Now my question was, in this part I have asked that is the first relation and the last relation, these two are the same. So see here, this is our given relation and the solution is this. So from this solution we can realize that the equation from which this PD is constructed, it must be related to this function x plus by and z. Yes, this is the relation z equal to e to the power x plus by and f of x plus by. So these two, this first one and the last one, these two are quite same or similar. In between this first and last equations, there is a relation. From this last equation, we cannot exactly say that the equation from which the PD can be constructed is this, but we can realize that the equation from which the PD can be constructed is related to these functions x plus by and z. Yes. So this is our observation. So this first one and the last one, there is a relation. And the second observation is, in case of Lagrange's method, we get this general solution of the given PD like this, and in case of Charpit's method, we get this complete integral of the given PD like this. So at first I want to say that this a solution and an integral, a solution or an integral, these two are same words. So same word means these two indicate the same thing. Solution or integral of a differential equation is a relation between the variables involved. Okay. And in case of general solution, we get the solution is of the form where phi is an arbitrary function, and in case of complete integral we get the solution which is of the form this, where a, b are arbitrary constants. So in case of general solution, the solution contains arbitrary function. In case of complete integral, the solution contains arbitrary constants. Now what is the geometrical representation or significance of these two solutions, general solution and complete solution or complete integral? So this general solution and complete integral, these two indicates the family of curves, or these two represents the family of curves. Why family? Because there are arbitrary constants or arbitrary functions, whatever. So arbitrary constant means what? A, b are real numbers and there are infinitely many real numbers. By putting each value of a and b, we can get different equations or different relations. So there is a family of equations, a number of equations. So this is a family of curves. This represents a family of curves. Now there is a nice thing, that is, there may exist another curve, a single curve, which touches each of the member of this family. So I want to say, that is, now till now we have learned that this general solution or complete integral, this represents this family of curves. Now I want to say, that is, there may exist a curve. Okay, say the curve is, I denote it A. So there may exist a single curve A which touches each of the member of the family. If it happens, then this A is called envelope of this family of curve, of the family of curves. Okay, so if there exists a curve A which touches each of the member of the family of curves, then A is called the envelope of this family of curves. Envelope, simply for letter, when we put the letter inside the envelope, then what is the role of this envelope? Envelope basically covered the whole thing. Okay, or the wrapper of books, this is also a type of envelope, whatever. So envelope means it touches each of the family of the each of the member of the family. For example, suppose I consider this circle and this is A. I consider this circle A. Then if the family of curves is like that, so there are a family of curves. Okay, there are a family of curves in the black side. This black represent family of curves, and this red one, this is a single curve which touches each member of the family. Okay, so this single curve is called the envelope of that family of curves, and also at each point of this single curve, this is touched by some member of that family. So this single curve touches each member of the family, as well at each point of the single curve it is touched by some member of the family of curves. So this A is the envelope of the family of curves. This is a nice thing. And this family of curves, this is represented by general solution or this complete integral. But this envelope, is there any solution which represent this envelope? The answer is yes. There is a third kind of solution which actually indicate or which actually represent the equation of envelope, and the third solution is known as singular solution. Okay, so this represents envelope of the family of curves. So singular solution represents envelope of the family of curves, and family of curves and general solution or complete integral, these two represent family of curves, right? So I think you enjoy this whole thing, and in the next classes we also talk about so many things, and also come back to the solution of Charpit's equation and this singular solution, how to evaluate the singular solution, and many more interesting topics. So keep watching, and thanks to everyone.